Hello, hello friend, this is me, your host. Welcome back to our channel. I hope you all are well and doing great. So today I am back with another video to give a review on a book, on three books which are all about thrilling mystical stories. So the first one which we're going to see today is The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman. Introduction: a bestseller that surprised the literary world. Richard Osman, best known for his role as a witty British television host and producer, did not enter the literary world quietly. His debut novel, The Thursday Murder Club, 2020, immediately captured public imagination, topping bestseller lists and becoming a cultural sensation. While many expected a charming, humorous book, few anticipated that Usman would deliver a story that balances comedy with genuine emotion and intrigue with reflections on aging, friendship, and mortality. The book's premise sounds unconventional. Four pensioners in a retirement village solve murders, but what could have easily have been a gimmick becomes instead a heartfelt, clever, and surprisingly profound story that has centered Usman as a fresh voice in contemporary crime fiction. This review will explore the book in depth, examine its plot structure, setting, characters, themes, narrative style, cultural significance, strengths and weaknesses, and Osman's lasting impact on the cozy crime genre. The setting: Cooper's Chase as microcosm of society. Unlike many murder mysteries set in country houses or bustling cities, Usman chooses Cooper's Chase, a modern retirement village in Kent, as the backdrop. Italic surface. At first glance, Cooper's Chase seems like a heaven of calm. Manicured lawns, leisure facilities, book clubs, and social activities. Reality underneath. As the story unfolds, we learn that the retirement community is a melting pot of personalities, secrets, regrets, and ambitions. Symbolism: the retirement village functions almost as a character itself. It represents the intersection of past and present, a place where lives wind down, but also where new adventures, friendships, and conflicts emerge. By choosing this setting, Osman subverts genre expectations. Detectives are not young, dynamic policemen or private investigators, but older people whose experience and insight allow them to see things others miss. Plot overview from hobby to high stakes murder. The narrative begins innocently. The four protagonists, Elizabeth, Joyce, Ibrahim, and Ron, meet weekly to examine unsolved cold cases. The club is a mix of intellectual curiosity, shared companionship, and sheer fun. However, the cozy premise quickly escalates. The first murder, a local property developer, Tony Karan, is killed. Suddenly, the club finds themselves investigating a crime in real time. More suspects. The murder is linked to land disputes, personal vendettas, and secrets from decades earlier. Police investment. PC Donna De Freitas and DCI Chris Hudson become entangled with amateur detectives, sometimes reluctantly, sometimes admiringly. Twists and revelations. As the case unfolds, long buried truths surface. Additional deaths complicate the story. Making it more than a simple hood unit. What is remarkable is not just who committed the crime, but why. The story explores the messy motivations of human behavior: greed, regret, love, guilt. Rather than presenting a simplistic puzzle. Characters, portraits of life, loss, and humor. Elizabeth, the strategist. Elizabeth is the unofficial leader of the group, intelligent, pragmatic, and resourceful. She carries an air of mystery, possibly tied to a background in espionage. She embodies resilience and demonstrates how sharpness of mind need not fade with age. Joyce, the heart of the narrative. Joyce, a retired nurse, offers diary entries interspersed throughout the novel. Her observations bring warmth, humanity, and humor. Joyce is also the gateway characters for readers, her ordinariness making her the most relatable. Ibrahim the thinker. As a retired psychiatrist, Ibrahim analyzes situations logically, offering psychological insights into motives and behaviors. He represents rationality and calmness within the group. Ron, the fireband. Ron, a former trade union activist, is outspoken, bold, and sometimes abrasive. His passion and stubbornness contrast with Ibrahim's Meyer tone, giving the group dynamism. Supporting cast: Pisidona de Freitas, a young policewoman eager to prove herself. DCI Chris Hudson, a seasoned detective, slightly wary but compassionate. Villagers and suspects: from shady developers to seemingly innocent residents. Each side character is fleshed out with quirks, regrets, and hidden motives. Themes: aging and mortality. Osman challenges stereotypes about aging. His characters are not passive or irrelevant. They are sharp, mischievous, and purposeful. Death is a constant presence, but the novel treats it not with despair, but with reflection and humor. Friendship and community. The Thursday Murder Club is not just about solving crimes, it is about companionship, loyalty, and the joy of shared purpose. In a society where aging often leads to isolation, Usman highlights the importance of community. Justice versus legality. The novel raises questions: is justice always aligned with the law? The club occasionally skirts the rules to uncover truths, reminding readers that morality can be complex. Humor as survival. Osman uses humor not as distraction but as survival. Characters joke, tease, and laugh, not to avoid reality but to endure it. This humor makes the novel light-hearted while also profoundly human. Narrative techniques, multiple perspectives. The story shifts between third person narration and Joyce's diary entries. This structure balances intimacy with broader perspective. Pacing: the pace alternates between layerly character backstories. diary entries and tense crime revelations. While some find this uneven, it reflects the ebb and flow of real life. Blending of genres. Swan mixes cozy mystery with elements of social comedy, character drama, and reflective prose. Chapter by chapter highlights. Opening chapters introduce the Thursday Murder Club and establish the warm, humorous tone. Joyce's diary entries immediately ground the narrative. Middle chapters, the murder occurs and the investigation becomes. Multiple suspects emerge, creating a classic hood unit structure. Later chapters, emotional weight deepens, backstories reveal regret, grief, and personal loss. Final chapters, the solution ties together threads of morality, justice, and personal closure. Comparison with other writers. Strengths: warm, multidimensional characters, a fresh, original setting for a murder mystery, blending of humor, emotion, and suspense, accessible writing style, appealing to both mystery fans and casual readers. Reception and cultural impact. Upon release, the Thursday Murder Club became the fastest selling debut crime novel in UK history. It stayed on bestseller list for weeks, selling millions of copies worldwide. Critics praised its charms, humor, and humanity, though some noted its lighter mystery elements. The novel also had critics praised its charm, humor, and humanity, though some noted its light mystery elements. The novel also had broader cultural impact. It redefined representation of older adults in fiction, proving that stories about pensioners can be adventurous, humorous, and profound. It sparked interest in the cozy crime genre, leading to a wave of similar books featuring unconventional detectives. Steven Spielberg's company acquired film rights, showing its cinematic appeal. Conclusion: more than a hood unit. The Thursday Murder Club is a triumph of tone, character, and originality. Swan delivers a novel that entertains, a mystery, but ensures as a meditation on friendship, aging, and the search for meaning. It demonstrates that even in the later chapters of life. Adventure, wit, and purpose remain possible. Far more than a simple debut, it laid the foundation for a beloved series, The Man Who Died Twice, The Bullet That Missed, and The Last Devil to Die, and positioned Richard Osman as one of the defining voices in contemporary British fiction. In the end, the Thursday Murder Club is not just about solving a murder, it's about solving the mystery of how to live fully, no matter one's age. So, the other book which we're going to see today about crime thrilling mystical story is All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. Introduction: a monumental work in contemporary fiction. Chris Whitaker has, in recent years, emerged as one of the most distinctive voices in modern literary fiction. His 2020 novel, We Begin at the End, was widely praised for its lyrical writing and emotional power, earning him the CWA Gold Dagger Award and establishing his reputation internationally. Expectations but therefore sky high for his next work. In 2024, Whitaker returned with All the Colors of the Dark, a sweeping and the ambitious story that is equal parts crime thriller, coming of age tale, and literary epic. Far from disappointing, Whitaker's new novel not only met but surpassed expectations. At nearly 600 pages, it is a vast and emotionally charged narrative that examines the lives of children secured by trauma, the struggles as adults, and the consequences of a single violent crime that reverberates across decades. The book was longlisted for the 2024 Booker Prize, cementing its place as a serious work of literature as well as a gripping story. This review explores its plot, characters, theme, style, symbolism, strengths, weaknesses, and cultural reception, while situation Whitaker's work within the broader landscape of contemporary fiction. Plot overview: from innocence to rupture. The story opens in 1975 in the small American town of Monta Clare, Missouri. It is a quintessential small town filled with dusty roads, diners, and the kind of close-knit community where everyone knows everyone else's business. Within this town live three children who form the emotional heart of the novel. Patch, a boy left physically scared after a childhood accident. Saint Annie, brave, loyal, and fiercely protective of those she loves. Misty, spirited and adventurous, completing the trio. Their friendship, while warm and genuine, is also shaped by the difficulties of their environment, poverty, fractured families, and a town weighed down by its own shadows. The defining event of the novel occurs when Patch is kidnapped by a stranger. Though he eventually returns, the scars, physical, emotional, and psychological, alter the trajectory of his life and of his friends' lives as well. The novel then expands its scope, spanning decades, to trace how this act of violence ripples outward, shaping not only the children's futures but the town itself. While there is a central crime to solve, Taker's novel is not just about who did it. Instead, it is about what happens after the aftermath. The lingering trauma and the way the past never truly lets go. Characters deeply human and flawed. Patch. Patch is the emotional center of the novel. Scared by his kidnapping, he carries both visible and invisible wounds. Whitaker does not portray him as a simple victim. Rather, Patch is layered, complex, and quietly resilient. His journey is one of survival but also of searching for identity, belonging, and peace. Saint Annie. Saint is one of the most compelling characters Whitaker has ever written. Fiercely loyal, tough, yet deeply vulnerable, she acts as both protector and anchor. Her love for Patch transcends friendships, embodying themes of chosen family and unconditional loyalty. Misty. Misty is the Misty is the light of the group in their childhood years, free-spirited, mischievous, and full of vitality. Yet as the novel progresses, her trajectory also demonstrates how trauma imprints differently on different people. She represents both the resilience of youth and the fragility of innocence. Supporting cast. The richness of all the colors of the dark lies not only in its central trio, but in the community surrounding Law enforcement officers, family members, and town residents all contribute to the story's depth. Each is given humanity, flaws, and significance so that even minor characters feel alive. Themes: trauma and its legacy. The serial kidnapping functions as the novel's fulcrum. Rather than treating trauma as a narrative device, Whitaker investigates its long-term echoes. Trauma in this novel is not something one gets over, it is carried, reshaped, and lived with across decades. Love, loyalty, and chosen family. At its heart, the book is about love in its many forms: romantic, plastic, platonic, familial. The bond between Madge and Saint is especially moving, demonstrating that love can be both a burden and salvation. Justice, revenge, and forgiveness. The crime at the center of the novel raises difficult questions. Is this ever truly possible? Does revenge heal or harm? Can forgiveness be given in the face of devastating violence? Whitaker refuses easy answers, leaving readers to wrestle with broader ambiguity. Time and memory. By spanning decades, Whitaker emphasizes how childhood experiences shape adult lives. Memory is portrayed as both gift and curse, something that connects people to their past but also prevents them from escaping it. Writing style: lyricism meets suspense. Chris Whitaker's prose has always been admired for its poetic quality, and All the Colors of the Dark may be his most finely written novel yet. Atmosphere: he evokes 1970s Missouri with sensory detail: rustling cornfields, worn church halls, dusty back roads, and dinners buzzing with local gossip. Dialogue: authentic, sharp, and often infused with humor the light darkens. Structure: non-linear in parts, the narrative shifts fluidly across time, but Whitaker ensures that emotional threads are never lost. Strengths: complex, authentic characters who remain with the reader. long after finishing. Emotional intensity that balances heartbreak with tenderness, ambitious scope spanning decades yet maintaining intimacy, blend of genres, thriller, literary fiction, and coming of age story. Masterful prose, both lyrical and gripping. Conclusion: a novel of light and shadow. All the Colors of the Dark is more than a crime story. It is a meditation on the endurance of the human spirit, the ties that bind us together, and the inescapable weight of the past. By blending thriller like suspense with the scope of literary fiction, Chris Whitaker has crafted a work that is at once heartbreaking and life affirming. It asks its readers to confront darkness but also to recognize the colors that persist within it: love, loyalty, and hope. In doing so, Whitaker has not only delivered his finest novel yet, but has secured his place as one of the most important storytellers of his generation. The last book which we're going to see today in this video is We Solve Murders. Introduction: why this book matters. The detective genre has always fascinated readers. Not simply because of the intellectual challenge of solving a crime, but because of what these mysteries reveal about society, morality, and human psychology. From the drawing room mysteries of Agatha Christie to the gritty realism of Raymond Chandler, each era reinvents detective fiction. Detective fiction too reflects its own anxieties and desires. In today's literary landscape, there has been a resurgence of cozy crime fiction. Novels that pair the intrigue of murder mysteries with humor, warmth, and community. We Solve Murders enters this tradition but gives it a fresh spin. It is not a book about brilliant detectives with many magnifying glasses, not about hardened police officers navigating city corruption. Instead, it is about ordinary people who stumble into extraordinary circumstances and decide, against all odds, that they will not let them truth remain buried. This review explores the book in depth, its plot, characters, writing styles, themes, symbolism, strengths. weaknesses, cultural significance, and broader place. Within the mystery genre, I will provide a chapter by chapter commentary to capture the progression of the narrative. My aim is to present a full-length review that goes beyond summary, offering reflection, analysis, and critique. Plot overview: a puzzle hidden in plain sight. At first, the premise of We Solve Murder seems simple: a suspicious death occurs in small, seemingly peaceful town. Authorities, either indifferent or overwhelmed, quickly label it an accident. But a group of local friends bound together by curiosity, wit, and determination suspect otherwise. From there, the novel unfolds like a tapestry. The group follows these threads, uncovering layers of hidden histories. What begins as a single incident extends into a network of interconnected mysteries, old grudges, family betrayals, and crimes that ripple across generations. By the climax, the murder is revealed to be not just about one person's death, but about a whole community's buried secrets. This structural design, starting small and widening the scope, keep readers both intrigued and invested. It mirrors the way real communities operate. Nothing exists in isolation, and every story is entangled with others. Characters: the human core of the mystery. Unlike detective stories centered on a lone genius, We Solve Murders thrives on its ensemble cast. Each member of the mature detective group brings a different perspective, skill, and flow. The leader, pragmatic, grounding, and naturally authoritative. This chapter keeps the group organized. Their calm presence prevents chaos when theories spiral out of control. They symbolize reason and responsibility. The skeptic, sharp-witted and often sarcastic, the skeptic challenges every assumption. They demand evidence before accepting any conclusion, often slowing down the group but ultimately leading them closer to the truth. The comic relief, light-hearted yet observant. This character provides much needed humor. They diffuse tension in grim situations, but their jokes often disguise shrewd insights. Their role reminds readers that laughter and tragedy can coexist. The heart, compassionate and initiative. This character connects with people. They notice emotional details others overlook. The hesitation in a suspect's voice, the sadness behind a widow's eyes. Through them, the novel acknowledges that murder is not just a puzzle but a human loss. Side characters. The supporting cast, suspects, townsfolk, victims' families are equally well drawn. Each has motives, secrets, and vulnerabilities. Even when guilty, they are not flat villains but human beings, shaped by pain, fear, or desperation. Themes beneath the mystery. While we solve murders, deliver suspense, and clever plotting, its true strength lies in its themes. Justice outside institutions. The amateur detectives take on cases that police dismiss. This reflects a powerful idea. Justice is not only the responsibility of institutions but also of communities. When systems fails, ordinary when system fail, ordinary people must step in. The weight of secrets. A recurring theme is that the past never disappears. Secrets, no matter how carefully hidden, eventually resurface. The novel suggests that truth is relentless, it demands to be uncovered. The power of community. The group's strength comes from the diversity. Alone they would fail, together they succeed. Alone they would fail, together they succeed. This is not just about solving murders, but about building boards in a fragmented world. Humor in the face of darkness. The novel uses humor not to trivialize crime but to humanize it. It shows how people cope with darkness through wit, companionship, and resilience. Writing style accessible yet layered. The prose is engaging and conversational, making the novel accessible to a wide readership. Short chapters end on revelations or witty exchanges, creating a rhythm that keeps readers turning pages. Dialogue is sharp and often funny, reflecting the unique personalities of the characters. Conclusion: A mystery with heart. We Solve Murders succeed because it is more than just a hood unit. It is about why people hide the truth, why others fight to uncover it, and how ordinary lives are bound together by secrets, laughter, and justice. For fans of mystery fiction, it offers clever plotting and witty dialogue. For those seeking more, it provides themes of friendship, resilience, and the importance of truth. Ultimately, the book reminds us that while crime stories begin with death, they are really about life, the ways people choose to live, love, and stand up for what is right. So, this is all we have from this book. I hope you guys like the stories. If you want, if you like the videos, don't forget to press the like button. And if you wanted to buy these books, you can visit our Amazon page and buy it from there. I'll be back with another video. Till then, just take care and goodbye.